Hello. Hi, everyone. I was just clearing the energies there. Thank you for joining me today. Let me get into comments. Hi, Sarah. Let's see what Sarah's up to today. She's working on getting the last 2 blocks of my 9-patch crochet blanket attached. Hope the sky gods and cats will let me work for an hour or so. I hope so too. Good afternoon, Barbara. Nice to see you. I think you'll enjoy seeing this. I was just looking up so I could share the information with you. Where did it go? There you go, a fossil that I have. Orthoceras fossil. Isn't that beautiful? It's a marine fossil. I think that's very, very gorgeous. And what I wanted to share about that is I'm looking for my notes, which I seem to have misplaced. So what I wanted to share with you today is I got a new deck. It's called Oracle of the Fairies. And it's very uplifting. It's by Karen Kay. I got it on Etsy. And now that I'm not on the right device in order to star things. So if you would like a reading with this deck, let me plug in my iPad so it doesn't run out of juice. It looks like it's at 29%. We need a little more percent than that. There we go. If you would like me to do a read for you, just let me know, and I will write down your name. There are 2 screens to choose from to watch. That's something new. One, I know that you would see 2. I see 2, but it's because I chose to go ahead and put my videos out for cell phones and for people who are on their computers. Beautiful fossil, it really is, isn't it, Barbara? Okay, gotcha. And with so many things going on right now, and Sarah, okay, and a lot of the information that is being shared right now, I got you down, huh? Hi, Major. That's funny. With all the information coming out and more to come out of news and things that people have done and atrocities, I think it's a double important to ground oneself and oh, you have that deck? Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Teresa. So let's see. I don't know if I'm able to. I thought I had you as moderator, Teresa. Hi, Kelly. Oh, groceries were delivered. We went and got our groceries today too. So I haven't taken a walk yet. I will after this. But also I wanted to share, I received a beautiful gift from Kelly today. Very beautiful Amazonite earrings. They're just lovely. Thank you. And you are okay. Good. I'm glad. I figured because I think you were the first one I installed, Teresa. So I wanted to share some of the information that I've learned about some of these stones. Like this is the most fairy-like stone I have. It's called fuchsite. And I don't know if you can see it. It's very sparkly. It has a beautiful sparkly sheen to it. Yeah, it's called fuchsite. This is green fuchsite. And it strongly connects one with the elemental kingdom and the fairies. And I have that on the good authority of, you can always, research is fun, but also I'm trying to remember her name. She has a channel here and she does readings. And I had a reading with her recently and I was interviewed by her. Nancy's Garden, that's who I'm thinking of. And this is Uperlite. And let's see. And I think what I'll do, instead of, because I'm stammering around a bit, anyone, Tanish, hello. We welcome love and light and positivity here. We welcome respectful behavior. If anyone would like a reading with these fairy cards, let me know and I will write it down. Nancy Jean, isn't she fantastic? I think she's just wonderful. Hello, Sheikh Shahzab. Hi. I believe I have my channel set for subscribers only, but I will have to double check that when I'm off. And let me go ahead and put the comments on screen. That's always nice so that everyone can see what's being said. There we are. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with Barbara. And I think I'll pull 2 cards for you, Barbara. Here's the first one and the second one. As we get to know this wonderful deck together. It's really beautiful. Oh, look, hon. Moon energy. And it says, surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. Because so much is coming at us at this time. It's important to know we're releasing what no longer serves, what never did serve. Making room for things that do. And the second card that I got for you, oh, that's awesome, Barbara, is Wish Wisely. What a beautiful card. And this card says, use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. And as much as Barbara, as you like to create, I don't see you having a problem with that at all. Not one bit. You're able to design and create things and bring them to fruition without a problem. And if I remember correctly, you're also having your home rebuilt at this time. Because at one point, your home went up in a freaking tornado. Yeah, Teresa will claim that too. I love it. I love it. Let's see if I make sure I've caught up. Okay, the next person I have down is Sarah. Let's pull a couple cards for Sarah. I went out this afternoon to gift my garden and to ask them for their assistance today and to thank them for all that they do. The fairy kingdom, in the garden, the plant spirits, each plant has its own team. Each blade of grass has its own angel. Every tree has a community of fairy, taking care of them, uplifting them, encouraging life, encouraging birds. And we feed the birds, so we get to see a lot of them. And there is a community in nature. So I find it very helpful to go out and ask for their assistance. And I like to bring them gifts. Sometimes it's marbles. Sometimes it's pennies. Today it was little pieces of dried fruit that I cut up. Some dried strawberries, dried apricot, some fresh blueberries. Some dried cherries. That was the other one. Dried cherries cut up. They're absolutely delicious. So it's nice to gift the garden that you live in, that's around you. It's nice to gift them and show your appreciation and ask for their guidance and protection. Hi, Sue. Nice to see you. We were talking about you at morning prayers hoping and thinking good thoughts, send swooshing good prayers. That's awesome. Alrighty, I'm going to pick 2 cards here for Sarah. Sarah, who's crocheting today and hoping to get it completed. Let's see, Sarah. The first one I got for you was wish wisely. That's interesting that came up again. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. It's a beautiful card. I wish I painted it. And the second card I got is abundance. Abundance. I like that. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. I love that. And I believe that the earth does provide enough food, enough sustenance, a place to live for everyone. That is the world I want to see, where everyone has enough to eat and everyone has security and a home. Where we don't just jail people who get into bad habits of drugs or lose their homes, that we help them, get them into programs so that they can get clean. A lot of other countries have done this, like Finland. They've done it. A lot of countries in Europe have done this and have met with great success. And there's a wonderful book, Silencing the Scream. I believe that's what it was called. I read it years ago and it was so good. So very good on how society can handle problems and issues without ignoring them, but actually things that work, things that help. And I think as parts of our world seem to be collapsing, what we are building instead is a sense of honest community where everyone is valued and everyone does have something to contribute. I think that's really important. I like that. That's following the example of nature in a way that really works and has since time immemorial. Let's see, who else would like me to draw them? Cards from our new deck that we're getting to know today. It's called the Oracle of the Fairies. And it has such beautiful cards. Like here's one, life energy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Life energy. I love that. Oh, okay, Teresa, you bet. Lost my pencil. Here we go. Teresa and Sue, you got it. Absolutely. I thought it would be fun today because there is a lot of heavy news in the world. I thought it would be nice for us to have a little escape to the garden, because that's how nature feels to me. It's a wonderful place to go. It helps me level out my energy and quiet my mind. It brings me peace. Let's see. There's one for Teresa. Oh, that's cool. And there's another one for Teresa. Okay. The first one I got for you, Teresa, is so gorgeous. Just look at this, hon. It's called Celebration. I want to make sure there isn't a glare. Let me see if I can move this light, if that helps. That might help a little bit. They are so soft and beautiful cards. It says, get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. It's time to go out to dance and play. An invitation could be on the way. And Teresa is so connected that I would not be surprised if her invitation came in dream from off planet. I would not be a bit surprised. And oh, holy schmoly, look at that. Your second card, Teresa, is light. Teresa is very curious soul and afraid of nothing. She is the light wherever she goes. The fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. That's beautiful. Holy shamoly. That's a fantastic card to get. Kind of sit with that energy a bit, Teresa, because you are the light wherever you go, wherever you are. It would be just downright silly of anyone to forget that. So the next person I'm going to draw for today is Sue. Oh, while I'm shuffling, I wanted to tell you guys something really cool that happened. I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard honk honk. I heard actual car honk honk, but in my mind, not in real life. I heard honk honk. So as Paul and I were heading out to do our errands today, I told him, I said, I heard this honk honk and I've never heard that before. So let's be very mindful of honking, of someone backing up unexpectedly. Let's just be really aware. And we went on with our errands and all was well. We went to 2 different grocery stores and we're very happy with that. And came home and put everything away. And then Paul went to get license plates for our car. And he said, hey, we got home just before I went on today. And he said, hey, guess what the honks were about? And I said, what? And he goes, he drove by a high school. And he said there must have been 100 high school kids outside protesting ICE. And he was honking and other cars were honking. He said, that's what the honking that you heard and told me about, that's what the honking was about. So that made me so happy. And blessings to every single soul that's protesting in a peaceful way like that. That's empowering. I think it is happening all over, not only all over our state, our country, our area, our region. I think it's happening all over the world. Where all over the world we have had our fill and we are done with the way things have been. And all the yucky truths are coming out. And the only ones that are panicking are those with things to hide. The rest of us can peacefully stand in our light and say, we demand equality. I would like us to all have universal health care as soon as freaking possible. And everyone to be treated equally and fairly. And laws to be obeyed. So that's nice to put our energy where we want it to go. And part of that is connecting with Earth, connecting with the spirits of place, connecting with the angelics, because all the animals are from the angelic realm. Just sit with that for a second, So just to connect with all the animals in your area, wild or domesticated. And just to think about, I do this when I'm walking, to think about all of the star nations that are represented here by every plant and tree and animal that is here. That alone boggles my mind. Yeah, universal health care would help businesses as well as workers. Yes, absolutely. And we deserve that. We absolutely deserve that. All of us do. Oh, you got it, Kelly. You bet. So I am all for let's put our energy where we want it to go. All right. For Kelly. Oh, that one came out. That one. Sometimes I just hold cards until I feel that one. There it is. That wants to come out. There you go. Oh, look at this, Kelly. The first card that you get is purity. Look how beautiful that is. Purity. Well, that reminds me of you. You're pure heart and you're a very loving individual. Sincerely so. Not fakey, but for reals. And anyone who's spent any amount of time with you knows that. You can feel that. It resonates. It says, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. Oh, I'm sorry, Sue. I forgot you. Oh, I started blabbing and blabbing. I'm so sorry, Sue. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Sue, I will give you an extra card because I'm just so silly today. Oh, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, you're going to love this one. Check it out. Solitude. Don't we all long for solitude sometimes? Especially when one gives a lot of their energy and shares a lot. I don't know about you, but if I spend an hour with people, I need at least an hour by myself. Let's see what it says. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Oh, that's so true. I'm so sorry, Sue. Thank you. I love these cards. They are beautiful. That's a feeling. I just get a real good, peaceful feeling just like that. When you've done everything you need to do, and it's time for you to have some time on your own, just some quiet, relaxing, with nothing pulling at your attention. And I like how these feel. I watched an episode that Gerald did once with Jamie, and they sometimes take a very, very super fine sandpaper, and they sometimes sand the back of their cards because it makes them easier to shuffle. And this card deck, I didn't feel that I needed to. It was easy to do, and that helps my hands because I have arthritis. So the smaller decks, this one isn't that small, but when they're easy to shuffle, it's really helpful. Okay, for our wonderful and patient, gotta say, our very patient Sue, who's getting an extra card because I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry, I'm absent-minded. So let me get these these cards are for Sue. Oh my goodness, Sue, you got purity. And I shuffled and shuffled those. Oh, you're most welcome, Kelly. Purity. Oh, Sue, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. That's beautiful. Only I do picture Sue as well as this beautiful unicorn with maybe 5 or 6 kittens too, or cats. And the second, you got the most beautiful card, life energy. Oh my goodness, this one just radiates hope. Standing in her light like you would not believe. Look at that. That's incredible. I'm hoping that as our gifts come in, we'll get to see them with our physical eyes, because they are out there in the garden. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. That's beautiful. Because there really are no bad parts. Sometimes there are younger parts or damaged parts that have gotten hurt, and they need to bring those messages to us so that we can welcome them home to our heart and relieve them of what they've been carrying. It's like parenting ourselves, really, from the inside out. And the third card you got, Sue, was this one. Moon energy, which is so fitting, I think, since we just had a full moon. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. Everything in its season, everything in its rhythm. And we are full of all those beautiful parts. That is how we know that we resonate so well with, like with certain crystals. Like this one I have today to show you. It's called Spirit Quartz. This is from the fairy kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the elementals. Because I think of it as, I don't know about you, but I think of it as the elementals are an umbrella term. They're an actual physical being, an energetic being, but they're also under an umbrella of the elemental kingdom holds within it many wisdoms and many gifts and many treasures and many fairies and gnomes and all of the beings who care in their great wisdom for the earth herself. They're very familiar with the energies, the meridians, the way the energies move through the plants is in their doing. The way the meridians stay clear is in their care. We would do well to become close to these energies because they are a part of us. Us having a human body is like our magic key into sharing space with these beings with respect and gratitude. You can tell we are connected because we got some same cards. Like, yeah. Sarah says she was trying this project. Well, I got two and started to attach a third before the cats objected. You were right about that. She was trying to get some connections before they would interfere. Now, when I was a child, I always enjoyed being outside. I always enjoyed watching bugs and birds and little creatures. I liked the listen and the feel and the taste of water out in the wild. The way in the bay it tastes a little salty. The way the bay rocks, if you give them a quick lick, they taste salty. I always liked that. I still do. I like the way the world changes from season to season as the sap comes up from deep within Mother and moves up the tree and everything comes to life. And suddenly 100 birds are all around and they're building nests and they're finding mates and they're gathering sticks and they're stopping to eat and they're bathing every day. And then they raise broods and flowers bloom and grasses grow and blossoms fill the air and their scent fills the air. And when the wind blows, there are little tiny flower petals everywhere. I love watching the seasons. They each have gifts in them. Oh, hi, Paul. He's just swooshing through. All right. Spend time with your family. It's so important. And thank you so much for swooshing through. Oh, I just heard a bird banging the suet feeder outside my window. We're all sending you blessings, Paul. Yeah, Sarah says I enjoy outside, just not in the freezer. That's right, because where she is, it's super cold. And that makes perfect sense. One of the things I like best about the Pacific Northwest, it's a temperate climate, and we rarely get snow. What we do get in the winter, and you'll notice this if you follow my post page, you'll notice that I adore moss. I love moss and all of the life that it supports and all the lichen. The trees become like pharmacies. The older trees become like pharmacies for the wildlife. And it supports a world of plants. And moss is one of them. And there are so many different kinds. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yes, we were all sending love to Paul and Liam and Ann and the entire family. They had the service yesterday. It's a time of letting go. A gentle, gentle time. We send you extra angels to be gentle with yourself at this time. Yes, and many blessings. Many blessings. Barbara says, I have just been flinging the suet blocks out the window because I can't get into the yard. Okay. We have ours in cages. Suet cages, that is. Suet. And this one, there's still suet out there, but I keep a close eye on it because they've been going through suet cakes quite quickly. So we've been making them pretty often. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I am thankful. Just too much snow. Oh, man. I remember living on the other side of the mountains, and I remember how cold it was. And just so cold. And the first few days, the snow was really beautiful, but it got old quick because of all the shoveling and all the work that it required. And I remember being over it. But here, when we do get it, it's a bit of a treat. Of course, the whole city goes into lockdown if we have, over like 3 inches. We call it Snowmageddon because we're not used to it, and hardly anyone. Some people can drive in it. I never was someone who could drive well in the snow, so I just don't. I just stay home. My husband, who's from Minnesota, can drive very well in it, and my son, who's a professional bus driver, and his sweetie, they drive really well in it. So bravo to them. I'm just not one of those people. I get too freaked out. Oh, goodness. Incredible. There we go. Let's draw a couple cards for Paul. Even though he's went to spend time with his family, I know that we're all thinking of him and wishing and praying and asking for extra angels to help the entire family at this time of loss and transition. And what I got first for Paul, who's in mourning today, let me take that comment off so we can see this a little bit better. Whoops. What did you? Kelly said she drove for 50 years in the snow. So happy not to anymore. Oh my goodness, I hear you. That's a lot. So for Paul Freed, and his lovely family, I've pulled the card Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Like he was telling us and sharing with us this morning, that he has had Archangel Azrael and Archangel Gabriel come through, and he has delivered the messages of the energies that came to him perfectly, beautifully, and shared them honestly and clearly, whether people were ready to hear that or accept it or believe it or not. He did his part. He shared it. That's all the best we can all do. And the second card I pulled for Paul was music. Listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Oh, he's going to love that. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. He speaks of songs often. I think he was speaking of one this morning. So he's going to love that and very much relate to it. Fairies know a lot about behavior, for they watch us. They see the effects we have. They pay attention. They know when we're sad or happy. They take care of the environment and they balance the energies. And they love music. And water has a music all its own that they also really enjoy. And they watch all the animals as well from the angelics. But they do that with the knowledge that they are from the angelics. So I think we will be learning a great deal from them in the days and months and years ahead as we become more in balance with our environments and grow more of our own food. I know we are hoping to do that this year. Are you guys? Are you hoping to start a little garden on your balcony or your deck or your yard or your actual garden? Yeah, he does love music. Yeah, Barbara, he does. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure if he's in Pennsylvania today or in South Carolina. I know he was planning on flying there, but I'm not sure where he is at the moment. But I know that he does appreciate our support. Absolutely. Teresa would love to grow some food. You know, my Paul has a greener thumb than I do. I do great with plants. But he has more knowledge than I do about successfully gardening. I'm great with houseplants. I enjoy planting flowers. But in order to get the most yields out of plants, I told Paul that I was putting him in charge of that. So I want us to make some more flower, like, what do you call those? Flower beds above ground. I can't use words today. Raised garden beds. There you go. So that it will be easier on his knees and be able to grow more of our own food. Because we're eating a lot of vegetables, and each time that I go and buy vegetables and fruits, I think, oh my goodness, what if I had to grow all these? It would take years to get my first harvest. So I be sure and be thankful. I am thankful for that we can buy groceries and have a roof over our head and running water and washer dryer and snacks and goodies and TV and movies and the internet so I can visit with all of you. Let's see. Sarah says, I would love to have a garden, but those cost money. And landscapers like to kill my seedlings with weed killer. Oh, that would drive me nuts. You know, it's funny. I used to start all my gardens. In the dining room table, you would find my table full of little jiffy pots and saran wrap or plastic covering some of them. And I would be misting them. And, you know, you can put, if you take water and you put like a tablespoon to a quart, let's say, 2 quarts, let's say 2 quarts. and you add a tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide to that water, you've just created super oxygenated water that you can spray onto your plants. And I do that to our houseplants. But you can do that to seedlings too. And what would happen here is I call it gardening with squirrels, because you see, the squirrels were absolutely convinced that every time I put out jiffy pots that I had buried treasure underneath, and they'd pull up all my jiffy pots day after day after day until I finally stopped using jiffy pots, because the squirrels just would not leave them alone. So now I use pots to put seedlings in, and I put chicken wire around the pot so that the squirrels can't get in them. Otherwise, they want to bury things in there. They want to help me garden. Barbara says, if you don't have the ability to grow outside, the aqua gardens are real nice for growing veggies inside. You know what? My son, sweetie, she did that on her kitchen counter. She bought one at a secondhand store, and then she just ordered the little pods and grew her own. It was absolutely fantastic. Oh, Kelly has fruit trees, and it's cheaper for us to buy our veggies. Yeah, same here. Same here. Oh, aren't they, Barbara? They're so good for you too. They're so healthy. And I recently, Paul read an article and sent it along to me about how one of the healthiest things one can eat, and the fairies are in charge of all of these plants, mind you, and all of their growth, is watercress. It's one of the healthiest things for entertainment purposes only that one can eat. And I used to get watercress and buy it when I was feeling extra fancy and make it for our meal to have on our, like, I used to get it to put on baked potatoes, actually. It's very good for you. So if you like food, you like fairies. I like some of the things that I see online of big city gardens on top of roofs. In community gardens, I think we're going to see more of those. We have, in our city, we have a couple of large ones that I've seen, one large one that I've seen, and a couple of smaller ones, and then I'm starting to see tiny ones sprout up here and there. And oh, good, Teresa. I'm really happy to see that. I'm also seeing more of food bank type cabinets that are put in front yards or put in front of churches. And it's just like, take what you need, bring what you can. I'm seeing more of those, and I really like adding items to them. It makes my heart happy. I'm glad that they're there. I would really like to see some of the abandoned, like motels, hotels that aren't being used for business. Why couldn't they be converted? I'd like to see things like that happening. Brussels sprouts are really healthy too. Broccoli sprouts, yes, they are. I bought some once and they were so delicious. Let's see. Teresa says, I bet we could sprout our dry beans before we make soup to increase nutrients. That is brilliant. You are just so full of brilliant ideas. You're like a muse, Teresa Ford. I love you. That's brilliant. Yes, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Teresa, yes, Barbara says. Way healthier. Yeah, healthier that way. Absolutely. And just in showing appreciation, you know, when we go outside and say morning prayers, if you do that too, just say, you know, at the end of the day, I also go out to my tree and say thank you for today and all the gifts that have been in it. And I'll thank them for specific things, like the other day I went for a walk with one of my brothers. And we talked to each other, and I really enjoyed it. And he brought his dog, 100-pound, beautiful dog. And I so enjoyed meeting up like that. And I hope we do it again. And it was so nice to visit. So when I went to my tree that evening, I always wait until my solar lights come on, because in the winter they don't stay on that long. But I have 2 lights on our fence that look like flame. They look like they flicker. And to me, I call them my story lights. And I made a path around a tree trunk. And I love to walk my garden every night. And I say thank you as I'm walking. Thank you for this day. Thank you for all the beauty of this day. Thank you for all the blessings of this day. Thank you that everyone is safe. And then I say prayers as I walk around, and I stop at my beautiful tree. And I say my thank yous for the day. And I send out my good prayers. And every day, every evening, again in the morning and every evening, I ask for extra angels to be with everyone on the planet. You are special. You are a special muse. There's no denying it. We've all seen it. We've all heard it. I love you. Oh, Kelly says my son and daughter-in-law made us homemade tomato soup last night. Oh, yum. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that a lot. Oh, Barbara was so disappointed she couldn't find the moon last night. I always love talking to her. I call her Unchi. Oh, Kelly saw her through the window and blew her a kiss last night. Oh, I love it. Yeah, homemade tomato soup sounds delicious. I say hello, Unchi. I love you, Unchi. Yeah. And it's her that we're going to learn to when to plant our garden, like the old Farmer's Almanac. Do you guys get the Farmer's Almanac? I buy that every year for Paul. Being a Minnesota boy, he appreciates that, and he really likes it. And he's very concerned about climate change. He talks about it and worries about it a lot. And I appreciate the care that represents. It's so nice to spend time with you today. Oh, Sue Toffee loves tomato soup. We've been enjoying this tomato soup with pepper in it. It's so yummy. Red pepper tomato soup is so delicious. And I'm not really into soup that much, but a good homemade soup, heck yeah, what a treat. And made with such love. Yes, please. Actually, I made split pea soup yesterday, and I try to sneak as much vegetables in it as I can. So I put all the vegetables I can in it, like scallion, carrot, celery, cabbage, and I can't remember what else. And then I put it in the immersion blender, and it's split peas. And then I put the immersion blender in it, so it's just like split pea soup with extra vegetables. Because I really want us to stay healthy. And the way I see what I can do every day to make sure that happens is to put as many vegetables in our food as I can. My husband doesn't like carrots, so I have to either puree them and sneak them in, or he'll just eat them if they're there, or I dice them up really tiny. I even put them in spaghetti. So I'm big on vegetables, which is funny because I didn't used to be. Barbara says the moon was the first word my oldest daughter said. My dad used to take her out to look at the moon. Oh, I love that, Barbara. That's beautiful. I love that. As Teresa says, I don't think this would be necessary, but many grocery veggies have seeds that could help feed us should we need emergency gardens. Yes, even if they don't grow true to the fruit, I bet we could eat them. Yeah, I mean, in Minnesota, I learned a lot about Monsanto's, who's genetically modified and has forbidden farmers to use seeds that they don't have control over, because they've bought almost all the foods and seeds that produce seeds in the world. And that needs to stop. so that we can return to growing from seeds that haven't been modified to be something else. I mean, they say that they help them so that they don't produce diseases, but I think it's a lot about size, because watermelons used to be this size and now they're the size of Buicks. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you get my drift. And I think we're on our way to returning to a time where we don't want that anymore. Absolutely. Oh, Kelly says it was good and comforting. So kind of them. It was so very much so. She had the biggest pan of tomatoes, onions, carrots, and garlic, and roasted them first. Oh, that woman knows what she's doing. She must have learned that from you. I'm always grateful when someone cooks for me. I bet. Because you've been cooking for others forever. That's lovely. I love that she roasted them. That really deepens the flavor. We love doing that. We really like doing that too. And there's something in tomatoes when they're roasted, because when I was making Rosie's food, I remember reading about the properties of a tomato change when they're roasted, and it produces something that starts with an L that's actually good for dogs. Yeah. Oh, good for you, Sarah. She saves seeds from tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Oh, I love that. I remember I was caring for an older couple for some years, and the older lady, she was a dear. She had such a sweet voice. Her name was Faye. What a fairy type name, isn't it? Her name was Faye. And she told me about when she was a girl, her dad returned home and he brought home with him an avocado seed. And she and her mom didn't know that it was a seed. They thought it was a nut, and they were trying to open it. I just thought that was hilarious. Because when I was a caregiver for them, we got to talking about so many things, and they shared so many things because they had lived through a lot. The leaves of sweet potato plants are edible. I didn't know that. The leaves of sweet potato plants are edible for entertainment purposes only. That's brilliant. Thank you. Lycopene from tomatoes. Thank you. Yes. Yes, that's right. Because I was wanting to make sure that whatever I was creating, because I had this cookbook that was foods you can make for your pet. And so, I was learning about what over-the-counter medications can be shared for entertainment purposes only, what food is safe to share, what food isn't. Like Rosie's breed cannot eat liver. It is not good for her. Liver of any kind she cannot eat. It's just not good for her breed. It's not healthy for her. So I was it's funny because the older you get, the more you learn. And then it's fun to learn. When you're a kid, it's like, oh my God, I've been in school forever. I'm bored out of my mind. But when you get older, it's really interesting to learn. Isn't that something? Or is that just me? Yeah, Barbara. It's amazing. I love that. I love learning that. So that's why the fairies should never be far from our minds, because all our knowledge is like a drop compared to what they know, because their knowledge is about energetics. It's about frequency. It's about medicine. It's about seeing magic in the air and knowing what feeds it. It's about knowing the properties of morning dew and how to use it. We barely have scratched the surface on what we can learn about the relationships between plants and trees and grasses and minerals and waters and the rocks that they grow in and the animals that visit them. And one of the things that was wonderful about Indigenous peoples is we followed the food and we lived with the land, not on it. So we learned from watching the animals. And there's a lot to be said from that. There's a lot of respect and balance in that. Yeah, me too, Teresa. I'll go on these learning jags, like, learning all about dogs and their behavior and their seek drive. And then that got me to thinking, like, I don't know what the word is. I think it starts with a T, transposed or something. Looked at what are the drives of dogs. Like, some like to seek. Some animals are herd animals, like deer and horses, not just cows. How do they like to move? Like those books from Temple Grandin were so phenomenal. And I think they do link up with fairy type energy, because these are things that the fairy and the elemental kingdom already know. you know? And it's us remembering who we are that's going to make us more and more curious as to how do we live in harmony with the earth, and how do we make that fun? How do we honor those that have always been in tune with earth? How do we introduce ourselves in respectful ways? Like bringing gifts and singing songs and saying thank you. Those kind of small baby steps to get us there, while we remember more of who we are and what we're doing here. You know? Yes, when you become part of the environment, everything is holy. That's so true. It's been so wonderful to spend this time with you today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to pull one more card for all of us, just to hold close to our hearts while we go about the rest of our day. Oh, check it out. This is the card for all of us. It's called Divination. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. I love that. How we're becoming a part of the story. And this will continue. Even though there's a lot of noise right now, this is also happening. Us remembering who we are and being a part of this beautiful story that is Earth. So I look forward to remembering with you. It will be so much fun. And thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Please do all the YouTube things. And I will talk with you soon. All right. Bye for now.